Hello, hello, hello. It is Wednesday, June 26th. Good grief, this year is flying by, flying by, flying by. So today is Wisdom Wednesday, and today I'm actually going to talk about wisdom. Pretty cool, huh? I do read through the Bible other things than Proverbs, but just the Proverbs, it's just one thing after the other. Wisdom, 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 seek knowledge, seek righteousness, all these things. So I just get so much from them. Before, I didn't think I would. There's only 30 Proverbs. And you'd think you'd get it all when you read them a few times, but every time you get something more out of it. And sometimes they used to be a little bit overwhelming for me because it was like, it says this, and it says this, and it says this, but it's just, I find it amazing now. And I've been doing that study with my ladies group on Mondays, our Monday Night Sisters class. We're doing Jesus and Women with Christy McClelland, and she actually challenges us to look through it through a Middle Easterner's lens, because there's our lens, the way that we grew up learning, and I think that's been one of my problems with wisdom and searching for it and knowing it and learning it, versus a Middle Eastern lens. Western lens us, Middle Eastern lens them. But Jesus was a Middle Eastern rabbi, so that's how he taught, and that's how we're learning. I think that's just been so eye-opening on the way that I look at things and learn things. So I looked up approximately in the King James Version of the Bible, wisdom is said 222 times. That's a lot of times to talk about one thing, and it's alluded to other times, but actually specifically wisdom. So it does depend upon your translation as to how many times it's in there, but that's a lot. Knowledge 169 times. This is something that we really should be searching for and learning about. So wisdom, I actually looked up the meaning of wisdom, which I would believe we all know it, but it is the ability to make sound decisions and judgment based on knowledge, experience, and understanding. It involves not just knowing facts, but also having the insight to apply that knowledge in practical and meaningful ways. I believe in another video I talked about how I used to just fly by the seat of my pants. That's not using very much wisdom, because you're not reflecting on what's going on, you're not looking to learn, you're not looking to grow, you're just willy-nilly, you're doing all these things. This morning I was struggling, and his word just lifts me up so much before I went to work, but that was when it talked about some of the wisdom and learning how Jesus taught us and to feed on his word. So that's what I've been doing, and that to me is wisdom that I'm finally starting to just absorb and to learn. If you want to find wisdom, truly find wisdom, you want to seek knowledge, which I talked about, gain experience. I think I wanted, as a child of a teacher and a student, I made good grades. I was always usually at the top of my class. I did really well in sports. I always excelled. For me, it was hard to admit that I didn't know things. Now I'm just, I don't know. If I do know, I may not necessarily need to tell you if it's something that you need to learn on your own. I'm learning that that's me teaching everybody or telling everybody something. If they're not interested, they're not interested. So I need to let that go. And that's been a little wisdom that I've been gaining over time. But gaining that experience and seeking that knowledge, that's where the wisdom's going to come from. You're just not going to be a young kid and be a wise person. Even an older person, if you're in a situation that you don't know anything about, don't try and talk about it like you do. Seek that knowledge. Reflect on the things you've done. Reflect on the way that you've been. Reflect on the things that you see and see what works or doesn't work. That's what really shows wisdom. Listen to others. This was one of my struggles because I felt like, I don't know, that I knew it all. So when you learn that you can listen to other people and listen to their point of view and to really listen and to learn from them, then you'll really start to gain wisdom, especially older people who've already been through it. I think when I was younger, it was like, they're just old people. You don't know what we're going through. You don't understand what's happening. Your life was different, but it wasn't. And if we just learn to listen to different people and see their perspective, then we'll learn. And that is how you learn. Stay curious. That, I think, is a thing that as we get older is hard to do. We start thinking that we do know a lot more than what we do, but as we stay curious and we keep seeking more and more knowledge, that's definitely John Maxwell. When he talks about in some of our mentorship training program, he talks about that always, that he is curious every day. He is excited to get up and to learn more and to gain more knowledge. And he does not believe, even though he's written tons, 80 plus books on leadership, he's led multiple churches, he's grown so much stuff, he's got a company that he does all kinds of things with, but the thing that gets him up is being curious to learn more and to grow more and to always have purpose. He's 70, 80 something, I don't know, but he's awesome. And then embrace humility. For me, that was definitely a hard thing, to admit that I didn't know everything and to admit that maybe others knew more. But learning from other people, it's really awesome because I get to avoid a lot of things that maybe I would have ran into or done had I just listened to other people and taken their advice and looked at what they've gone through. Seeking wisdom and learning wisdom is definitely something that God stresses for us to do in Proverbs. And as Jesus talks about the things that he talks about, it is wisdom that he's trying to teach us and to get us to learn and to learn about him. So I hope you have an amazing Wisdom Wednesday and get you some wisdom. I look forward to talking to you again. I love you. More importantly, God loves you. I'll see you next time.